What would a society be without values and standards? Imagine a world without road signs or maps where direction is an abstract concept and navigation, a wild guess. Such is a society without values and standards. It's a ship lost at sea, tossed about by the whims of the waves with no compass to guide its course. Values and standards are the bedrock of civilization. They are the invisible threads that weave together the fabric of society, giving it form, structure, and purpose. They are the pillars that uphold our institutions, from families and schools to teams and nations. They are the compass that guides our actions, the yardstick by which we measure success, and the shield that protects us from chaos and anarchy. History offers us numerous examples of societies that thrived due to strong values, and those that fell because of a lack of them. Consider the ancient Greeks, a society that flourished because of its commitment to democracy, wisdom, and courage. These values guided their actions, shaped their institutions, and inspired their achievements in philosophy, art, and politics. On the flip side, we have the tragic tale of ancient Rome, a society that, despite its initial success, fell into decline due to a loss of values. As corruption, decadence, and disregard for life became the norm, the once mighty empire crumbled, leaving behind a cautionary tale about the dangers of neglecting values and standards. Values and standards are not just abstract concepts to be discussed in philosophy classes. They are practical tools for navigating life. They help us make sense of the world, make decisions, and form connections with others. They shape our character, influence our behavior, and determine our destiny. In this era of rapid change and uncertainty, the importance of values and standards cannot be overstated. They provide stability amidst chaos, clarity amidst confusion, and hope amidst despair. They remind us of who we are, what we stand for, and where we are heading. Values and standards, therefore, serve as the compass that guides a society towards progress and unity. The family, often called the basic unit of society, plays a crucial role in instilling values. It is within these intimate circles that we first encounter the principles that guide us through life. Imagine a family, the Johnsons, a humble and closely knit family living in a quiet suburb. Their story is not one of extraordinary circumstances, but rather of extraordinary values. The cornerstone of their family life is a set of strong values, deeply rooted in the respect for each other and the world around them. Their decisions, actions, and overall life are guided by these principles, like a compass pointing them towards their true north. The Johnsons are not unique in this aspect. Families all around the world, in their own unique ways, uphold values that they hold dear. These values may vary from family to family, culture to culture, but they all serve a common purpose. They guide us, shape us, and ultimately define us. Let's delve a bit deeper into the Johnsons' family life. Each evening over a shared meal, they engage in lively discussions, reflecting their value for open communication and learning. The parents, John and Mary, listen attentively to their children's thoughts and ideas, fostering an environment of respect and equality. This practice is not merely about sharing a meal, but about nurturing a sense of belonging, fostering mutual respect, and encouraging open dialogue. When it comes to decision-making, the Johnsons believe in collective wisdom. They discuss, debate, and arrive at decisions together, teaching their children the importance of cooperation, fairness, and shared responsibility. This approach not only strengthens their bond, but also reinforces the value of democracy, creating responsible future citizens. The Johnsons also uphold the value of service. They believe in giving back to their community, whether it's helping a neighbor, volunteering at the local food bank, or participating in community cleanups. This commitment to service instills in their children a sense of responsibility towards their community and the world at large. These values, cherished and upheld by the Johnsons, are not confined within the walls of their home. They seep into every aspect of their lives, influencing their actions and decisions. Their children carry these values with them, like a cherished heirloom, into their schools, their friendships, their future workplaces, and eventually their own families. This is the power of family values. They transcend generations, shaping individuals and, in turn, society. In the Johnson family, the children learn the meaning of love, not just as an emotion, but as an action. They learn to express love through kindness, empathy, and understanding. They learn about respect, not as an obligation, but as a recognition of each other's worth. They learn about integrity, not as a rule, but as a way of life. They learn about responsibility, not as a burden, but as a commitment to themselves and the world around them. And so the cycle continues. These values, once instilled, are passed down from generation to generation, like a torch being handed over in a relay race. Each generation in turn adds to this legacy, enriching it with their own experiences and insights. Thus, the family, this basic unit of society, becomes a powerhouse of values, shaping individuals who go on to shape the world. It is in the family that we first learn the meaning of love, respect, integrity, and responsibility. It is here, in this intimate circle, that we begin to understand the power of values and their profound impact on our lives and the world at large. Schools are not just places for academic learning. They are also where we learn the standards of behavior and interaction. Picture this: a school nestled in a small town where the emphasis is as much on character education as it is on academics. It's a place where students are nurtured not just to become mathematicians, scientists, or writers, but also upstanding citizens who uphold the highest standards of conduct and ethics. This school isn't merely a figment of our imagination, but a reality that exists and thrives. At this school, the day starts with a simple yet powerful activity. Each morning, students gather in their classrooms and discuss a specific value or standard, such as honesty, respect, or responsibility. The teacher facilitates the discussion, encouraging students to share their thoughts and experiences. This small act has a profound impact. By talking about these values, students are not just learning about them in theory, but they are also seeing how they apply to their daily lives. The value of the day is then woven into the fabric of the school's activities. In math class, students learn about honesty when dealing with numbers. In English class, they explore characters in literature who exemplify respect or face the consequences of their lack of it. Even in physical education, students learn about responsibility as they take care of their equipment and play fairly in games. This focus on character education doesn't end with the school bell. Teachers and parents work together to reinforce these values at home, creating a consistent message that permeates every aspect of the students' lives. Parents are encouraged to have similar discussions at home, tying the values into everyday situations, like sharing toys with a sibling, doing chores, or even dealing with setbacks. But what's the impact of this approach? It's transformative. Students at this school consistently demonstrate a high standard of behavior within and beyond the school grounds. They are respectful to their peers and teachers, honest in their work, and responsible in their actions. Their academic performance is also impressive. They take ownership of their learning, striving for excellence not out of fear of punishment, but because they understand the value of knowledge and the importance of effort. Moreover, the effects of this character education extend into their future. When these students grow up and enter the workforce, they bring with them the values and standards they've learned. They exhibit integrity in their professions, whether they become doctors, engineers, artists, or entrepreneurs. They treat their colleagues with respect, carry out their tasks responsibly, and uphold the highest ethical standards. But they don't just excel in their careers. They also make significant contributions to their communities. They volunteer, participate in local government, and help those in need. They are not just successful individuals, but also responsible citizens who uphold and champion the standards that make their society strong and cohesive. What's more, these students become role models for the younger generation. They pass on the values and standards they've learned, creating a virtuous cycle that strengthens the community over time. All of this starts in the school, a place that recognizes the vital role of education in upholding standards. It's a place that understands that education is not just about filling minds with facts, but also about shaping hearts with values. In a world that often seems chaotic and divided, schools like this offer a beacon of hope. They show us that education can be a powerful tool in upholding the standards that bind us together as a society, that give us a common language of respect, honesty, and responsibility. In the end, schools are more than just buildings where children learn to read and write. They are the cradles of our future, where the young learn the standards that will guide their actions, the values that will shape their character, and the principles that will define their lives. Schools shape the minds and hearts of the young, instilling in them the standards that will guide their future actions. Scene script. Values and standards do not only apply to individuals or families, they're also vital at a national level. Picture a nation, any nation. Now, what makes this nation unique? Is it the borders that define its geographical territory? Is it the striking architecture that dots its cityscapes? Or perhaps it's the rich tapestry of its history that's woven into every nook and cranny. While all these elements are undoubtedly significant, there's something that goes deeper, something that truly defines a nation, its values and standards. A nation's values and standards are the invisible threads that connect its people, forming a sense of unity and shared identity. They are the guiding principles that shape the nation's laws, policies, and social norms. In essence, they are the moral compass that directs the course of the nation, steering it towards progress and prosperity. Take, for instance, a nation that values equality and justice. Here, every citizen, regardless of their background, is given equal opportunities to thrive. Laws are designed to protect the rights of all, ensuring a fair and just society. This commitment to equality and justice not only fosters unity among its citizens, but also bolsters the nation's reputation on the international stage. The same goes for a nation that upholds the standard of integrity. In such a nation, corruption is not tolerated, and transparency is the norm. Leaders are held accountable for their actions, and the people trust their government because they know it operates with honesty and sincerity. This standard of integrity contributes to a stable, progressive nation that commands respect globally. Now let's talk about patriotism. Patriotism, quite simply, is love for one's country. But it's more than just waving the national flag on Independence Day or singing the national anthem with gusto. True patriotism is about embracing the nation's values and standards and actively contributing to its betterment. It's about taking up the mantle of civic responsibility and striving to make a positive difference, be it at a local community level or on a broader national scale. Patriots are the lifeblood of a nation. They are the ones who volunteer their time and resources to support community initiatives. They are the ones who stand up against injustices and fight for what's right. They are the ones who, despite their differences, come together for the common good of the nation. But patriotism isn't a one-size-fits-all concept. It takes different forms in different people. For some, it might mean serving in the military or public service. For others, it could be about participating in peaceful protests to bring about social change. And yet, for others, it might be as simple as casting their vote in an election or teaching their children about the nation's history and values. Regardless of how it's expressed, patriotism is a powerful force that can drive a nation forward. It can inspire citizens to work towards a common goal, fostering a sense of unity and shared purpose. It can instill a sense of pride and belonging, strengthening the social fabric of the nation. And most importantly, it can motivate citizens to uphold the nation's values and standards, ensuring its continued growth and prosperity. However, patriotism should never be blind or unquestioning. It should not be used as an excuse to justify actions that go against the nation's values and standards. True patriots question, true patriots challenge, and true patriots seek to improve. They understand that loving one's country means wanting it to be the best it can be, and that requires constant reflection and evolution. So let's circle back to our original question: what truly defines a nation? It's not just the geographical borders or the historical landmarks. It's not even the economic indicators or military prowess. What truly defines a nation are the values and standards it upholds, and the patriots who strive to uphold them. A nation's strength lies not just in its economy or military might, but in the values and standards it upholds. In a team, Shared values and standards serve as the glue that holds everyone together. Imagine a sports team, let's call them the Hawks. The Hawks were a group of diverse athletes, each a star in their own right. But despite their individual talents, they were just another team in the league, often overlooked and underestimated. The reason? They lacked a shared set of values and standards. Each player was playing for themselves, focusing on their own performance, their own glory. Then, one day, a new coach arrived. She was a stern, no-nonsense woman who quickly saw the problem. She knew that for the Hawks to succeed, they needed to become more than a group of talented individuals. They needed to become a team. And so she set about instilling shared values and standards. The coach began by establishing a set of core values for the team: respect, determination, and teamwork. She made it clear that every player, no matter how talented, was expected to uphold these values both on and off the field. She also set high standards for performance and behavior, challenging each player to strive for excellence and to support their teammates. The transformation was not immediate, and there were certainly bumps along the way. Some players bristled at the new expectations, resistant to change. But over time, these shared values and standards began to seep into the fabric of the team. They influenced every aspect of the Hawks' operation, from training sessions to game strategies, from locker room banter to public engagements. Respect became the cornerstone of their interactions. They learned to value each other's skills and contributions, to listen to each other's ideas and concerns. Determination became their driving force, pushing them to train harder, to keep going even when the odds were against them. And teamwork, that elusive quality that had been missing, became their greatest strength. They learned to play for each other, to rely on each other, to celebrate each other's successes as their own. This shift in values and standards also influenced their decision-making. No longer were decisions made based on individual preferences or egos. Instead, they were made with the team's best interest in mind, guided by their shared values of respect, determination, and teamwork. And the impact on their performance was undeniable. The Hawks began to win games, not just through the strength of individual performances, but through the strength of their team. They became a force to be reckoned with in the league, admired and respected by their peers and competitors. And it wasn't just about the victories. It was about the way they played, the way they carried themselves, the way they supported each other. They had become more than just a team. They had become a family, bound by shared values and standards. This story of the Hawks is a prime example of the power of shared values and standards in a team setting. Whether it's a sports team, a corporate team, or any other kind of team, shared values and standards can be the glue that holds everyone together. They can guide strategy, influence decision-making, and drive performance. They can foster unity, cooperation, and a shared sense of purpose. They can transform a group of individuals into a powerful, cohesive team. In the end, it wasn't the individual talents of the Hawks that led to their success. It was their shared values and standards. It was their commitment to respect, to determination, to teamwork. It was their willingness to put the team above themselves, to strive for a common goal, to uphold a shared set of expectations. That's what made them champions. Shared values and standards in a team foster unity, cooperation, and a shared sense of purpose. In times of change and uncertainty, re-establishing values and standards becomes even more crucial. We exist in a world that is constantly evolving, and with that evolution comes the need for adaptability. But while we must adapt to the changes around us, it is equally important that we hold steadfast to our values and standards. These are the guiding principles that give our lives meaning and direction. They are the compass that steers us in times of uncertainty, the anchor that grounds us in times of upheaval. Now, you might ask, why is re-establishing values and standards so important, especially in times of crisis or change? Well, the answer is quite simple. In times of crisis, when the world around us seems to be in turmoil, our values and standards serve as our beacon of hope. They remind us of who we are and what we stand for. They give us the strength to face adversity and the courage to stand up for what we believe in. Take, for instance, the concept of one nation under God. This is a value that has been at the heart of our nation's identity for centuries. It is a value that unifies us, that strengthens us. It is a value that reminds us that we are all part of something greater than ourselves. And in times of crisis, it is this value that can guide us towards unity and solidarity. But re-establishing values and standards isn't just about looking to the past. It's also about shaping the future. It's about deciding what kind of world we want to live in and what kind of people we want to be. It's about setting the standards that will guide our actions and decisions, that will shape our character and our destiny. This is particularly important in the context of families, schools, nations, and teams. In families, values and standards are the glue that holds us together. They are the shared beliefs and principles that guide our interactions and shape our relationships. They are the foundation upon which we build our family life. In schools, values and standards are the guiding principles that shape our educational journey. They are the benchmarks against which we measure our progress and the ideals that inspire us to strive for excellence. They are the values that instill in us a love for learning and a respect for knowledge. In nations, values and standards are the pillars upon which we build our society. They are the ideals that inspire us to work towards a better future, the principles that guide our actions and decisions. They are the values that define us as a nation and that shape our national identity. In teams, values and standards are the shared beliefs and principles that guide our teamwork and collaboration. They are the values that foster unity and cooperation, that inspire us to work together towards a common goal. They are the standards that set the bar for our performance and that motivate us to strive for excellence. Re-establishing values and standards is about more than just nostalgia for the past. It's about understanding the importance of these principles in our lives and committing to uphold them. It's about recognizing that while the world around us may change, our values and standards remain constant. They are our guiding light in the darkness, our compass in the storm. In the end, it's not the challenges we face that define us, but how we respond to them. And our response is shaped by our values and standards. It's shaped by our commitment to fairness and justice, our respect for knowledge and learning, our love for our family and our nation, our dedication to teamwork and collaboration. In the end, it is our values and standards that define us as individuals, families, schools, nations, and teams. They are the principles that guide our actions, shape our character, and determine our destiny. So let us re-establish these values and standards and let them be our guiding light in the journey ahead. We have journeyed through various aspects of life, exploring the indispensable role of values and standards. As we navigated through the corridors of family life, we discovered that values and standards are not just abstract concepts, but the pillars that hold our homes together. They are the woven threads that bind us, guiding our interactions with loved ones and shaping the legacy we leave for future generations. In the realm of education, we saw how standards are not merely about academic excellence. They are the compass that direct young minds towards intellectual curiosity, ethical conduct, and responsible citizenship. In the classroom, we learn to appreciate the diversity of ideas while upholding the universal standards of respect, honesty, and fairness. Our journey then took us to the vast landscape of patriotism and national values. We saw that these are not about blind allegiance, but about cherishing the principles our nation stands for. It's about standing up for justice, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, and striving to ensure these rights for all citizens. In the arena of teamwork, we discovered that shared values and standards are the lifeblood of successful teams. They foster unity, promote cooperation, and ignite the collective spirit needed to overcome challenges and achieve common goals. And finally, we ventured into the crucial task of re-establishing values and standards in a society that often seems to have lost its way. We recognized the need to return to principles that honor the dignity of each individual, promote fairness, and uphold the common good. In conclusion, let us remember that the journey does not end here. It continues in our daily lives, in the choices we make, in the standards we uphold, and in the values we instill in others. Remember, each one of us has the power to uphold and pass on these values and standards to build a stronger, more unified society.